So guys, in this week's video, I thought we'd basically just go over a few different points and the best things you can do to an E46. Not saying I have the best opinion on that, of course, but like I say, I've done a few bits to the car. I like modifying cars. I'd like to think I've got a good opinion on what does look good and what doesn't look good in a car. But yeah, like I say, if you don't agree, then sorry. I'm going to go over a few points now. I was going to do like the top 5. There's probably going to be a few more, so maybe like 8 to 10. But there's so much you can do to these cars. I mean, they're over 20 years old now, so there's so much aftermarket support. And yeah, I thought I'd go over a few. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. You'd have to excuse me as well. I am a little bit ill at the minute, but I need to get a video out for you guys this week. So yeah, let's go. Starting with a crucial point on any car and any build is the suspension. Now, there's a few avenues you can go down. You've got either coilovers, which is the best in my opinion. You've got springs. It's still good to get a car a little bit lower, but you are restricted, obviously. You have a set height. Or obviously there's bags. I ran bags on the Golf. Personally, I wouldn't run another car on bags. This wasn't the best ride in my opinion. I prefer coilovers. That's what we have on the E46. You can either go super budget, or you can go obviously all the way up to Nitron, really expensive track suspension. There's so many different options you can choose from. Personally, I think coilovers are the best. Also, for the fact nowadays you can get things like the stance cups or the air cups, which can go on top of a coilover. So you still have that ability of either front lift, rear lift, both if you want that, but you have the handling of a coilover. So that's, in my opinion, probably the best setup to go. I obviously just have budget coils on this because it's my daily. I bought it as a cheap car. I would like to upgrade the suspension in future. In my opinion, I think coilovers are the best, purely because, like I say, you have the adjustability on the height itself. Obviously, depending on the coilovers on these, luckily I have. You can adjust the dampening, so that the stiffness or the softness you want on the ride. As well as that, it's probably one of the best things to do, purely because they're old cars. The suspension's probably shot after 20 years, so you want to upgrade that. I know, obviously, my reasoning for getting coilovers in the first place was my rear shocks had gone, and the price of an OEM shock I could get budget coilovers for. So like I say, I just bought budget coilovers and then the full car is lower. I'd like to maybe go a little bit lower. But yeah, that is probably one of the best mods you can do to an E46 in my opinion, and probably any car to start off with, is the suspension. Purely because it changes the overall look of the car. You get so much more of an aggressive stance. The side profile, like you see, looks so much better. Yeah, I just don't really think there's much you can beat. So I'll stand out the way now so you can actually see obviously what it does. I mean, that arch gap, like I say, I'd like it a little bit lower, but I can't go too much lower purely because of the daily ability of the car. Yeah, starting off as number 1 would definitely be the suspension. So the next point, and then arguably the number 1 point, but I say we'll put it as number 2, is the exhaust system on a car. Now, this is one that applies to all cars, but in my opinion, the E46s especially, because it's very easy to make an E46 sound bad, but if you get them sounding right, they do sound amazing. So it's one of the best mods you can definitely do to an E46. On my car, I've just got a resonator delete. The full exhaust is still stock other than that, and I think it sounds absolutely amazing. It's very easy for the E46 exhaust to be made raspy and they just don't sound good. You can get really good full exhaust systems like the Valvetronic systems and whatnot, which are, like I say, they're valved, but it can be very hard to get a good sounding one. You can either go completely straight pipe, catless, all the way through. If it's a drift car, for example, you can obviously go catback, so it's road legal, but obviously still sounds really loud. Or, like I've done, you can just go a resonator delete. I'll overlay a sound clip now of my exhaust. In my opinion, I think it sounds really good for an E46. I've saw E46s have more than mine done. They've had the secondary cats deleted, the cats deleted. They just don't sound as good. I love the tone of mine. I might be a bit biased because it's my car. But yeah, coming in at number 2 is the exhaust. That is a crucial mod for any E46. So for this next point, we're gonna have to turn the car on, as it's a crucial mod for any E46. You guys probably guess what it's gonna be. Help to find lock my car. And that would be the angel eyes. Now, some people aren't huge fans of these. You may not be able to see mine the best because it's daytime at the minute, but I'll overlay some shots, obviously, of the angel eyes in the evening because, like I said, they're a crucial mod to any E46. You can also get, as well as these halos, you can get a hexagon-shaped one. I'm not a fan of facelift E46s, but I think the hex angel eyes in a facelift E46 look better than the circle halos. It's a must-have on an E46. Of a night time, especially my car being black, it looks so much more menacing, it looks so aggressive, and it just brings the car up to date really. They're good DRLs, they look good, it brings the technology in the car up to date, even as well as the angel eyes, putting a white LED in the car, so I'll show mine now. Having a white LED in the car, it just looks so much better. The halogens, in my opinion, date the car a lot, and the angel eyes just look, I mean, there's nothing else to say. They're so cheap, they're easy to fit, you can fit them yourself, and they just look great. Let me know in the comments what you think, but in my opinion, they're such a good mod, and like I say, they're crucial to an E46. You don't really see many E46s without them, and if I was to ever buy another E46, I would hands down put the angel eyes straight back in the car. I think this set here cost me about £20, so I think for the price, ease of installation, and the change it has to your car, they will easily sit at number 3 for me because they are such a good mod to an E46. I think this one needs to be pushed over a little bit, it's a little bit out of line. Like I say, it's easy enough to do, especially with E46 headlights. This case can just pop off, readjust, and then they're sorted. But yeah, number 3 is definitely angel eyes. On the topic of lights, this is a mod I want to do, I haven't done. It's these rear tail lights. Now, I know the M3s came with them and the facelift E46 came with them, but it's the LED tail lights. Again, like with the halos on the angel eyes, they just bring the car up to date and they just look so much better. These don't look bad, they're very period correct. But for me, I just think they date the car, like I say, and I think the LEDs look so much better. That's definitely a mod I want to do in future on the car. Will probably be an install I'll do on the channel, so if you want to see that, let me know down below. And tying in with that, like I said, with the white bulbs from the halogen bulbs, these plate lights, again, they change the car so much. They look so much more modern on the car. Obviously, when you have a plate on, it's very important that your plate is seen. But yeah, I do absolutely just love the LED tail lights. I would like to change them. Now I'm looking at these and the car is clean, I don't actually mind halogen ones as much. I think it's definitely a mod I'd like to do in the future, because upgrading these, it's, again, as with most things on this car, it's an easy mod to install and it changes the look massively. It just brings you up to date more. So if you want to see the LEDs installed on the channel, let me know in the comments below. That's definitely a mod I'd like to do in the future. And that's it for the lighting. But on to the next must-have mod, which I believe will be number 5 now, which is a mod, again, that could go across to absolutely any car across the board with modifications, but it is wheels. Now, in my opinion, like I say, as well as the suspension, exhaust, wheels are the next point, which are crucial for any E46, any build in general, like I say, but any E46 especially. There is so many different avenues you can go down with the E46, as with everything. You can either go one-piece drift style wheels, there's the two-piece style wheels, which these are, which are the OEM BBS wheels, or you can go full stance boy and you can go three-piece. Now, like I say, I've gone two-piece with this because I've kept it OEM plus. I think any car with some sort of lip looks absolutely amazing. There are many, many styles. A lot of people go with the BBS LM style wheels on these cars, and I think they do look great. That is one thing, there is such a plethora of options that you can really choose absolutely any style and see if it suits the E46. There's so many styles that have been done, and like I say, with being old cars now and the aftermarket support, everyone has the right fitment for each style of wheels. And yeah, again, you can't go wrong. It changes the presence of a car completely. So coming at number 5 is definitely the wheels. Now with number 6, I'm exposing myself a little bit with the awful paint on the rear end of this car, but the number 6 mod, which is the best for any E46, would be a spoiler. Again, with most things, because they've been around for so long, there is so much option. You can pretty much choose from any style you want to, and it will suit your spec of build. So for me, I've gone with the OEM lip spoiler, which is the M Sport spoiler. This also came on the M3s. You can obviously run no spoiler, but if you want to look modified, obviously you want to be adding something on the back of your car. A lot of people go for the CSL style, which sort of goes like this on the car. That's just like a little add-on piece. It's very cheap. Like I say, it looks like a CSL style boot lid. Or if you've got big money, people go the full carbon CSL boot lid, and they do look absolutely great in my opinion, but it's not my style. I like the lip spoiler. You can also, depending on the avenue you're going down with the car, you can run a full big track wing on the car. I think they do look great, but I feel like if you are running a track wing, then you should really have like a wide arch kit, an M3 body style, or just something that makes the car look a lot more aggressive, because they're narrow body cars, and if you have too big of a rear spoiler, it just doesn't look right. It off balances the car a little bit. In terms of spoilers, again, there's so many options on the cars. You can choose from anything. The most common are this M Sport lip, the CSL style, or some sort of track style spoiler. All in my opinion look great on their own specific builds. You can actually get like a drag style spoiler made if you're doing like a drift stance style kit, which do also look good. With most things on the E46, there are that many different options, you really don't get one E46 that looks the same. As we mentioned with the spoilers, the different styles of cars, the different spoilers suit. Again, another top mod you can do to any E46, because it's all pretty cost effective, is the body kit itself. On mine, I'm pretty stock body. I've got the M Sport kit, M3 front bumper, which a lot of people do, and then the side skirts and the splitter kit all the way around. Now, in my opinion, that looks the best for OEM Plus. You obviously can go with the M3 arches, M3 bonnet, and the full M3 rep kit. I did discuss this in my previous video, and the reasons to buy an E46, obviously the different options you can go with. An option I'd like personally to build, if I had another E46, would be the drift style kit, where you've got the big side skirts, big low front bumper, big rear bumper, wide arches, full drift stance. Looks absolutely amazing in my opinion. I'd love to build one. I like this OEM Plus as a daily. I just need a second one to be a drift car to do that with. But yeah, as well as that, if you're going track style, you can go with the whole the M3 GTR kit, which has all the vents in the arches. So that usually has a big wing on the back, very wide, big tyre, track stance. Again, looks amazing. It's an easy thing you can do to these cars. So again, another top thing to do to an E46 is just modify the body kit. There's so many kits available, and the body styling you can change, that you may as well do it to make yourself stand out from the rest. Controversial being a rep, but I've got the rep M3 bumper, the CSL splitter, M Sport side skirts, the splitter kit, and the M Sport rear bumper, and the M Sport spoiler. Obviously, M Sport is a stock body styling, but if you have an SE bottom spec E46, you can find these relatively cheap to upgrade it. Obviously, you have the M-Tech front bumpers as well. I just chose the M3. But like I say, for the price you're going to spend on one of those, you may as well spend the money and just get a full body kit, because fiberglass has come on so much now. Fitment will be great, and if it's not great, you just make it great. If you've got an E46, you probably know how to work on a car, or you want to learn how to work on a car. And yeah, for number 7, it will just be the body styling, because it's one of the top things you can do. Why wouldn't you? You stand out, you look great, and it's cheap. So for number 8, and I think the final point in this video, I know I said 8 to 10, but probably 8, you're gonna have to join me inside the car, where we'll be discussing the Apple CarPlay and the head units you can put in these cars. Because for an E46, when we're talking about bringing the cars up to age, sort of into the new technology era, this is one thing you need to do and a must have in an E46. So I have the Eon Apple CarPlay unit. This also pairs with Android Auto, and in my opinion, it's the absolute best thing you can do to these cars. So on my system, you have obviously Apple CarPlay, all the features, maps, Waze, Spotify, everything you want on CarPlay basically, as well as you can get on the Google Play Store and go on the internet. It has normal radio, you can watch Netflix, YouTube. It's just amazing. And like I say, having that tech in an E46 feels absolutely crazy. So it's definitely a must-have in an E46. So there we have it, guys. There are the best things, in my opinion, to do to an E46 in 2024, or at any point, to be honest. Like I say, I'm super happy with where this car sits at the minute. There's a few other little bits I want to do to it, but I'm trying to keep it relatively OEM Plus, like I say. Next things I want to do are the tail lights, and that's all I can really think of. There's a few things, like I say, I want to get better coilovers, maybe some better seats. I'm not really too sure, like I say. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, whilst obviously having the mods. I could do with, to be honest, getting another channel project. So if you have any ideas, another E46 drift build, another car completely, another style of build, then let me know, because I'm looking to get something for the channel, because like I said, I need to bring you guys content. I need something to build. This car, I started the channel when it was pretty much done in my eyes. There's only a few bits I want to do. Obviously I'll film them when I do them, unless the car breaks, if you watched the last video. That brings us to the end of the video. If you think I've missed anything out, drop them in the comments below. Let me know what you do to this car, and definitely let me know what car you want to see on the channel, because it's something I really need to think about. It's something I need to produce content for you guys. This car is good, it produces some content, but there's not really much more I can do to it. We might have a sponsored video coming up soon. Yeah, we might have some content coming up soon on some smaller mods. But in terms of the E46, it's just my daily. It just gets me about, looks nice doing it. I need something else to build and something else to do and produce content on. And I don't want to go turbo. I don't want to go like show car, track car on this. This is just my daily car. It's my only car at the minute. I need to buy something else that I can film for the channel. So yeah, let me know what you want to see. But for me, in terms of the best things you can do to an E46, that's the end of the video. So I'll catch you guys in a bit.